What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It is your boy, the Dry Nude here. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the top 5 tips and tricks in order to get better at Warzone Rebirth Island and just to help you out in general. Now, these tips and tricks aren't going to be in any particular order, but they are going to transcend and make you a better player of everything that I have learned grinding out Rebirth Island, dropping high kills, and all that good stuff. But before we get into today's video, if you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to smack a like on it. It really helps me out with the algorithm. And if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out, get the channel to grow and all that good stuff. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is aiming. Now, I know that's a very generic term, especially on mouse and keyboard. Aiming, there's so many settings and so many things that you can go through and try to get right. If you guys are wondering what I play on a 5 sensitivity, 800 DPI, and a 1.21 monitor coefficient. I did a video back a couple days ago talking about what monitor coefficient you should try it. I highly suggest you try out 1.21. It really does make a huge difference, but just because it's my settings doesn't mean that they are going to be right for you. Everybody plays on different sensitivities. Everybody plays on different settings, different mouse and peripherals. So always keep in mind that sensitivity is down to your personal preference. You can't copy my sensitivity and expect to do well and just fry out like I do and have good aim. It's down to what you are comfortable with. Make sure to go into aim labs or coeffects if you want to train your aim. There's a bunch of good scenarios on there, and I have a couple of videos on that. So make sure that you have your aiming down to a T, to where you feel comfortable flicking, tracking, wherever. That is a huge tip I can give you, but aiming is not the end all be all when it comes to Rebirth Island or any shooter in general. A lot of the times it comes down to positioning. Make sure you always have good positioning. Good positioning comes down to always having a place to retreat to or get out of cover or into cover and get out of bad situations. You're just not rushing in blindly. You are going through methodically and always having a place to return to if you are getting shot at, or if the gunfight doesn't fall into your favor. That is going to help you out a lot, and it's going to make it to where you die a lot less often. Guys, don't just rush in and try to get a kill, especially if you're playing Rebirth, because there's going to be multiple teams that are probably just going to be camping or focusing you. A lot of the times you have to retreat and get back to cover. Take example, these clips that I'm showing you right now. I am utilizing my positioning to a T, and it's something that you have to mentally train for, and something that is not going to come natural until you train it often. But I always have cover between me and the person I'm shooting, or at least I can go back into cover, hide behind cover, wait for them, and have them push me. So I always have the advantage. I am not always the aggressor. I always depends on how much damage I do to the enemy, something that you really have to take into consideration, because the time to kill is slower than it is in multiplayer. So you are definitely going to have to play a little dance. I like to call it chess, where you make a move, your enemy makes a move, and then you have to make the next move or counter that move. And most of the time it will end up going into the person's favor that does the most damage. Did you get the first shot off? Is he shooting at you? Is he on a head glitch, or do you have to reposition? Does he have the high ground? If they have the high ground, you know, that's almost a gunfight that you're never going to win. You can ego chow it, but that's a 50-50 gunfight in your favor. So make sure that you have really, really good positioning, and that will help you out and make you last a lot longer. Now, the third tip that we can come out and talk about is loadouts. Make sure you guys are using a good loadout. If you're on mouse and keyboard players do not follow a loadout that you see controller players play, and vice versa. Controller players don't follow a loadout that you see mouse and keyboard players. Some of them are universal, but other times other ones are not. The loadout that a mouse and keyboard user uses could be different from what a controller player uses, mainly because you don't have aim assist on mouse and keyboard, and vice versa on mouse and keyboard. It is really easy to control recoil, especially when it comes to the Black Ops Cold War guns or the Modern Warfare guns. Those are really easy to control recoil on mouse and keyboard. So some setups you might want to favor horizontal recoil instead of vertical recoil because it's harder to control horizontal recoil on a mouse and keyboard, whereas on a controller, the aim assist bubble kind of helps with that. So that is something to keep in mind. If you guys want some very good class setups, I have a bunch of videos on top class setups down in my channel. Make sure to check those out. Next thing we want to talk about, play tactically, guys. Play tactically. This is also goes into our positioning. You just can't rush in. You can't just think that, oh, I'm just going to out aim everybody and I'm going to destroy them. No, that's not how it works. You literally have to play tactically. And if you want to get those high kill games, you have to push, wait, listen, use audio cues, and sometimes audio doesn't always help out, but wait, listen, have good positioning, and always try to get the advantage on people. There's some things that you can't do to, some gunfights just don't go in your favor. Maybe somebody just pops out and they just come out of nowhere. There's nothing you can do about that. The next thing I want to talk about, and the final tip that I can give you guys, is stay calm. I see so many people when they get into certain situations, they jump, they get all jittery, or their just adrenaline starts going through the roof because, oh my gosh, I am on a 20, am I going to get to 30? You start thinking and you're overthinking, and that ends up to a lot of mistakes. Literally, you have to get into situations that you can get out of, know the situation, and that will train you to stay calm. If you're camping in a corner all game, that's not going to help you when someone just pops out and rushes you. How do you deal with that? You don't know, because you are busy camping and you're not staying calm. So when those situations happen, you jump, you get all discombobulated, your brain goes a million miles an hour, you just can't think, and maybe you'll jump, maybe something happens where someone comes out of an unexpected corner. What do you do? Well, first of all, you have to stay calm, and you have to get into those situations to where you will be able to stay calm, and hopefully that will help you out and make it to where you can make the right decisions. Your brain is nice and clear, and you don't have to worry about anything because you've been in those situations many times before. Now guys, that is it for my tips and tricks, the top 5 tips and tricks when it comes to Rebirth Island. Let me know if you want to see another video like this. Let me know what you want to see and go in depth. These are like kind of like the 5 generic tips and tricks that are going to help you out, but if you follow these guidelines, they will help you and get you on the roads to those 10, 20, 30 kill games that everybody wants to get on Rebirth Island, rushing around having fun. As always, guys, remember to stay blessed and stay humble, and I will catch you in another video. Peace.